If ever there was an episode title, it's that one.
I think so too.
And I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
If I were to say it, but it would be funny, but I won't because it's going to come up organically, guys, because here's the thing. We're not the kind of podcast that plans.
I mean, I do a little.
I wouldn't advertise that because if our end product is with preparation H, then hello. Preparation H is a hemorrhoid cream.
No, I get it.
This podcast is a hemorrhoid cream.
Get it. Thank you.
You could find it at your local Walgreens or CVS.
Hi.
Hey, I wanted to include CVS and Walgreens because
Sponsor us, guys.
Right, just in case. Just in case a muckety-muck over at the CVS is listening on his break, having a cig in the alley, wishing he worked at Walgreens.
They do shut down completely for an hour each day. And inevitably, that's when I show up.
Pharmacist will be gone between 11, 12, and 1, 6.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is a pharmacist doing at that time?
Eating. Everyone needs a break.
The CVS execs just ripping a heater in the alley.
Would you like to...
staring across the intersection at a Walgreens thinking, what are you guys thinking in there? What ideas can we bite from you, Walgreens?
You want an intro, please?
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, guys. I'm Brandon. Welcome. Hey, guys. Welcome to Cold Hands, Warm Hearts. I'm Brandon Birdwell. I'm one half of the Cold Hands, Warm Hearts podcasting duo.
Hey. Hi, guys. I'm Ashley Engle. I'm the other half. Welcome to episode 143.
That's it.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We hope we can add some value to your day.
And if we can't, then you got what you expected.
Your time is precious.
Guys, we want to treat this time for you like how a pharmacist treats the hours between 11:04 and 12:12. Need to. When you guys are ripping heaters, when you guys are vaping in the bathroom, popping a Zen, popping a Zen and perusing the men's hair products, going over where the ace bandages are.
This sounds very specific.
Yeah, it's what I do. I don't even work at a CVS. I just show up and I go, is it break time? And then all the pharmacists and me, we start ripping heaters, puffing on vapors, and popping a Zens.
Guys, we hope that the value we add is that you can unplug a little bit and we can talk about life and maybe you can giggle along the way. And that's what we're here to do.
We know for a fact, guys, that what you do when we speak is you unplug whatever device you're listening to us on. And that's the value we add.
It's March now. And we said last week it felt like January would never end. And then February came and went, apparently.
Yeah.
And here we are. It's March. We're about to spring forward this weekend, which I hate. Do you hate falling back or springing forward? You just realized it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Which one do you hate more?
I hate springing forward.
Do you?
Because I got to be somewheres faster. Which this is last week I was off from having to do things on the day where things spring. And now I'm back. I'm springing. I'm sprung. Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot, Ben Franklin. You know, it's his fault, right?
No.
He proposed daylight savings time.
Oh.
You clearly haven't seen National Treasure with Nicolas Cage enough. Because
I have, but I don't remember that fun fact.
Well, they're shopping for clothes. And Riley, the character, the sidekick, the comedic relief, he brings it up. And he says, do you guys know who proposed? And before he can even finish, Nicolas Cage and Diane Kruger go, Benjamin Franklin. And he gets frustrated.
In unison.
It's a good bit.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Benjamin Franklin propose the idea of unison? Just kidding. That was
no one had ever done it before.
Just kidding. That was the unicycle. No, wait. That was bifocals. Got it. That one's right. Yes, and we did it.
We got there.
Did you know that Ben Franklin proposed the idea of bathing with French gals in brass tubs?
I think
in unison.
I think that's probably right, too.
Unison's a small town in French town. It's called Unison. And
Unison.
Bring me another tub. Mademoiselle.
Oh my gosh. Okay. How you doing today? Did the severe weather wake you up in the night?
Not me.
Did it not really?
Not me.
Wow.
Although no, that's not true. I woke up at the witching hour. I woke up at Gravedigger's Biscuits,
Which is
3:33.
Okay.
Actually, Gravedigger's Biscuits I think is like 5 or 6 in the UK.
Okay.
But it's my favorite term.
You've talked about that on here before.
I like to ask people when they want to meet, and if they say the time, if it's like 5, I say, okay, Gravedigger's Biscuits then.
Yeah.
And it scratches the Anglophile itch I have in me. But no, at 3:33, woke up the witching hour, and because I was out of town last week, office sleepover was deferred, and because the Oscars were on Sunday, I'm going to let you digest that. My child said, I want to watch the Oscars, so we're going to do he hasn't seen any of unless Sonic the Hedgehog is nominated for everything. He has no dog in this fight.
He's a cultured gentleman.
He didn't sit through Anora. My kid didn't sit through all 3 hours plus the intermission of The
Wicked.
Brutalist. He did sit through Wicked.
Yeah.
And you know what he did the whole time? Complained about how long Wicked was. Anyways.
Well,
so,
I know he saw the movie, but I'm talking about the tribute. It was quite something.
Oh, we didn't catch that part.
Oh, cool.
Well,
It's the only part I caught.
Here's the thing.
Together, we watched the whole thing.
I had to double back and watch Adam Sandler do his bit because I heard that was funny. But I missed the whole first half. I missed Kieran Culkin's speech, so I went back and watched it. So I missed all the first stuff. I went it was because we had to wrap up a docuseries about a horrible woman named Ruby Frank, I think is her name. Oh, have you watched it?
No, but I've listened to podcasts about
It's
her.
not as hilarious as you'd think it is.
No.
It's terrible.
It's
She's
terrible.
She's a bad lady.
Yeah.
She's a bad lady, and she runs with a rough crowd.
Oh.
So her lady's name is her rough crowd's name is Jody.
Yeah.
Jody. Jordache.
I don't know if I plan to watch that because the
You'll
podcast
watch
was
it.
enough for me.
You live in Murderville.
I do, but seeing murder is different than hearing it. Do you know what I mean? And there wasn't murder in that, but there was bad stuff in that.
So by your accounts,
No, it was terrible. I'm not downplaying what happened in that story at all.
no one here is.
I just think that story has taken up enough of my brain space.
Anyway.
Okay, so
And then
last
she turns
night,
around and presses play on her new murder doc called Under the Water Tower of Eternity.
No.
From, I don't know, I was trying to come up with a fake town. I had a whole thing. I had a whole bit in my head. It was great.
Yeah.
It was fine. But it didn't work
It
out.
hit a wall before it came out your mouth. Okay.
Out your mouth.
Out your mouth. Guys, we had severe weather last night. Here's what I'll say about Oklahoma and severe weather of late. It has decided to save all of its severe weather for the overnight hours, which is not optimal.
Nocturnal weather.
So last night, I think it hit when? I don't even know what time I was awakened. Our house was built in the 90s.
Gravedigger's Biscuits.
No,
Okay.
it was before that. But our house was built in the 90s, which means
It's haunted.
also, yes. But every bathroom has a skylight.
Yeah.
Every bathroom has a skylight.
A lot of
Which is great. You know, natural lighting in the bathroom.
Yeah, sure.
But when it hails, every single time it hails, I panic about the skylights and I go and stand under the skylight.
Which feels like the opposite move.
That's the worst place to be standing.
Guys,
I just know it's going to happen.
public
someday.
service announcement.
PSA.
When it hails, find the nearest skylight and just look up at it. Guys, do you know what I love when it's snowy and icy? I just love the way that icicles look from directly underneath them. I think they're pretty. I think that it's like a little prism. And I just like to go stand and spend all day and night looking up at it thinking, what a time to be alive.
Nature's kaleidoscope.
Nature's kaleidoscope. And you know what? And I think to myself, if only this could be the last thing I ever see. And that's what I do. And then after that, if I am lucky enough to make it through my kaleidoscope incident, I can only hear murders, and they're better that way. Because if you see a murder, it's worse. But if you just, and it's a wonderful thing. Guys, public service announcement. Find your nearest skylight next time it hails.
I do it every time. And sure enough, this morning at 1 a.m. or whenever, I went and stood under there and looked up at it. And I thought, what am I doing? But I just know that one of these times, as severe weather increases in frequency and violence, as they say it will do.
Sure.
I just know it's going to happen.
And you just get...
And I don't know who's going to crawl up on the roof and tarp those up. It's not going to be me.
Not it, God. Not it.
That's
why, guys. That's why I exclusively buy homes with sans skylight.
Sans skylight.
It's the first thing I ask. I ask, are you one of those voyeuristic builders who likes to watch me make? Are you gonna crawl up on the top because you know how exactly? Why does this?
Oh my gosh.
Why does this have, like, if you were gonna be a sniper? Why does this have the perfect vantage point for me on the pot? Why do you need this? Who in the 90s woke up? What architect got out of school was like, you know what is fun? Going number 2. But you know what I'm missing when I do it is vitamin D. So if there's any way that we could cut a hole to God so that he and all the angels can stare down at me in my most vulnerable, shameful moment.
Guys, this went way off the
Trumpets
rails.
blaring.
And I'm sorry.
Here we goes.
But I'll tell you what you don't see, I don't think, in houses nowadays are skylights. Do they still make them?
I think that
They used to do that Sola tube. Remember those infomercials where they could cut a hole in your roof and put that tube in there for natural light?
Solar tube.
No.
Watch your poob. Need to go make. Look to the sky. Who's up there? Probably a guy just watching you do your do. Sky tube. 3 easy payments of $68.94 plus 1 really complicated payment and some court fees.
I love how the name of the product changed.
Sky tube. What was it first?
I think it's Sola tube.
Solar sky. If you look to the sky, it's something new. Peeping tube. I hope you really trust your contractor. I hope these roofers aren't interested in what's going on in your bathroom.
Good grief. All right. So last week you were talking about preparing for a trip to go see a buddy in sunny Cleveland.
Sunny Cleveland. No
Ohio.
skylights there.
No skylights in Cleveland.
Because all it looks into the gray. The great gray.
Abyss. How was that trip? How'd that go for you?
It was great. The sad thing is, before we started this episode, which is going great.
It's going
By the
great.
way, that's
We've
solar.
already hawked a new product.
That's solar poop bit. Solar powered deuce.
No.
Guys.
No.
Dude, I'd like to see the correlation between satisfying BMs and sunlight.
Okay,
I'd like
would
to see,
you-
no, I'll bet you those golden Hawaiian tropics gals. No, that's fake, son.
Would you please talk about Cleveland?
I'm trying to postpone it because I don't have much.
I
When
feel
you
like-
said, here's the thing. You says, I hope you've got a lot
to talk about
about Cleveland. And immediately I probed the depths of my memories of Cleveland. Not a lot. You know why? Because didn't do a lot. I'll tell you all about it.
Okay.
But
Please do.
so if we're talking about skylights looking over a toilet,
No.
I'm going to tell you something, and you're going to be so upset at the way I tie this together about how good
Okay.
the denouement of this is going to be.
Okay, I'm ready.
So if you're if on one side of the restroom spectrum, band name, if on one side of the restroom spectrum there is a toilet with a glorious skylight, just in the heavens, not a cloud in the sky.
Okay.
On the opposite side, and I'll show you a video of it.
Oh.
There's a basement.
Oh.
With a toilet. With nothing around it.
Just in the middle of the basement?
Solo bowl. Island.
Whoa.
Island John. By itself. There's a basement.
This is at your friend's house?
There's a toilet bowl. And I'm not going to get into detail, but sometimes You got to use it.
Okay, this is at your buddy's house, Jesse's house.
No, I didn't just go find one.
No, I need you to clarify. So you stayed at his home in the basement.
Stay in the basement.
And there's just a toilet in
Well, no. Let me clarify. I didn't stay in the basement. They were actually very hospitable people.
Well, no, but
they
sometimes
didn't say,
the basement is finished with a bedroom and
they
a
didn't
whatever.
say, get in the basement.
No, of course they didn't.
What's happening is they recently moved there, very, very recently.
Okay.
And they're still kind of moving in. Lovely home. Like, truly, it was so cool. It was very northeast. Like, I like houses in places like that are like...
Was it haunted?
It was of the age that I feel like you would have been on high alert.
Okay.
I can say, though, that I spent several days there. I did not experience a single haunting.
A single specter.
Not even the one.
Okay.
The toilet situation, however, will haunt your dreams.
Sure.
But no, so still moving in. So Jesse is a musician.
Yes, he is. Do you want to share his music with the people? Do you want to?
Do you want me to open with talking about the toilet in his basement and then jump right into his
that's up to you.
his discography?
I would like for you.
I do know that his mother listens to this podcast, and she's
Hi,
a
Lisa.
lovely woman. I want to also take a moment to let her know that her son and his lovely wife were the most hospitable,
Of course
and
they
it was
were.
a wonderful trip. But
Jesse Tavish.
okay, you're doing it.
I'm just saying. I want the people
His
to know.
music it's under Other Lives.
Triumph.
It's incredible.
Other lives.
I will say I got to listen to their new.
Ooh.
It's gonna be so good. But so they're moving in and they are currently outfitting the attic into a studio, like
Very
for him to work from home, record the whole thing. It's gonna be so cool. In the meantime, he has all of his gear and everything set up in the basement. Which he's so funny because he was playing me some stuff that he did down there and it sounded so good. He was just like, I kind of just love it down here. He's like, when they finish the attic, I don't know what I'm going to do because it's awesome down here. But so I slept in the adult house.
Okay.
In the proper house for the human people.
Okay.
So I don't want you to think I slept in the basement. But they have the bathroom upstairs, which is, like a bathroom for people.
Yeah.
But sometimes someone's using that one.
Okay.
For a shower or something.
Right.
And sometimes nature's like, hey, bud,
As it does.
go to the basement.
So it's just out there?
It's out there.
Man,
I got to tell you, it's liberating.
vulnerable.
It's liberating.
Okay.
Which-
It's like when we vacationed in the Northeast and there was an outdoor shower.
Love it.
And you took one out there every day and you were like, this has changed
This
my
is
life.
living.
This is living.
Give me a basement toilet and an outdoor shower.
Yeah.
And your boy's living. But yeah, so went there and did that. Also, it reminded me of, do you remember Stillwater High School circa late 90s, early 2000s?
I was
there
there.
there
I was
was
there.
one, maybe you don't know this. Have we talked about this? In one of the men's restrooms down over by the English Hall where they would throw the big metal rod down the stairs.
Yes.
Which I'm not going to explain that.
No.
I just think out of context, me saying, in Stillwater High School in 98, down that one hall where they threw the metal rod down the stairs
And I
is
know
enough.
exactly what you're talking
That's
about.
enough.
Only the real ones will get it.
Real ones, real heads, real pioneer heads.
That's it.
But there was a bathroom, a men's, which is why you probably didn't go into it.
No.
There was urinal, normal configuration, stall. Now where there's a third stall normally, it's just a toilet by itself.
Oh, why?
And it was a rite of passage for an SHS man to use it.
No.
And one time
I hate that.
I was
That's
using it.
just asking for trouble.
One time I was using it and I thought, I have to be able to tell the guys that I used the Island John.
And thank God there were no phones at the time because there would be photos
This is one in a million
of reasons.
that a phone, guys, this podcast isn't getting made if phones existed back then. Unless they've got podcasting equipment in Rikers.
Stop it. No, but really, I think about all the stupid stuff that happened in my youth. And I think, well,
Yeah.
today kids just take a picture and there's proof.
You totally stirred it up.
I know, I was so wild.
Guys, she's on page 84 of Dickinson today. Careful, y'all.
Sorry.
I will say we'd have better footage of teen scene lip sync shows. Listen.
Would. You guys, you would love it. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you'd love it because we love the things that make us feel good about ourselves, and to laugh at our pain, I guess, is the point. So I decided I gotta be able to go back and tell the fellas that I used the island pooper.
Okay.
And so I picked a weird time during the day.
Okay.
Not during passing period.
No.
Well, it was passing period.
Brandon.
So I go into the bathroom.
This episode
is killing it.
And it's not going to get better because of what I have to talk about.
It never gets. All I'm doing is teeing us up. So here's the deal.
Fine.
I go in there. I sit down.
Yes. Okay.
And I'm thinking I'm going to make it out of here. Because I picked the right time of day, was strategic, but I could still go in good conscience and tell the guys, I used it.
I did it.
Welcome me into your fold.
It was a club.
Welcome me into the club. The rub-a-dub-dub-bubs. Here they did. They used it.
Okay.
And no one here's a liar. Everyone here can be trusted because we all put it on display. But I'm sitting there, and then just who walks in?
Oh, no.
Mr. Truget.
Our English teacher.
Walks in.
Oh!
And we must have made eye contact for 5 minutes straight. He planted both his feet 10 toes down and just stared me square in the face.
Brandon!
And I could see him cycling through a million different thoughts. Not the least among which is, what's this idiot?
Because the other ones were empty.
People, no, it was a completely empty bathroom. I had to make a decision to use the exposed toilet bowl, and he stared at me for the longest time.
Oh, I hate this.
And after
I'm so sweaty.
After all of it, says not a word, turns, does like an about face, and walks out of the bathroom.
And good for him.
Words were not
That's
exchanged.
what a teacher should have done. And if you're listening, Mr. Truget, I am sorry that we're discussing this, but you handled this appropriately.
With aplomb. You handled
it correctly.
I think that from now on, I'm not using the word aplomb. You handled it with Trug, because the man, he did it better than anyone ever has.
How could what is someone to do? That is asking for trouble. That is not okay.
Do you know what a power move would have been?
Honestly, to have just an exposed toilet like that in a high school.
You're daring people.
Of all places.
Do you know what a power move would have been? If he just sat there the whole time and waited for me to get up and leave, and then just took his turn on that same toilet.
He would never.
No, he would, because he's a normal person.
He would never. Brandon, first of all, I didn't know about that. I'm going to ask Jeff about that particular restroom and see because he knows.
Of course,
he was a member of that club. I guarantee.
I was a legacy.
He was the founder. I guarantee Jeff was in that club. But I am
Porcelain
shocked.
Boys, assemble.
I am shocked that is a thing actually, no, I'm not. Stillwater High, circa late 90s.
Oh, baby.
I'm not surprised by that. It's probably still there.
Honestly, I loved it, but our entire high school experience was kind of one big exposed toilet. Like, in a metaphorical sense, we kind of were all just out here on our own, just solo bowl.
Loved high school.
It was the greatest.
So anything else about Cleveland besides that toilet? Please tell us other things, because we don't want...
Yeah, the tourism department of Cleveland doesn't love what I've done so far. No, well, the reason that I don't have a ton to say about Cleveland is because the trip was less about Cleveland and more about just seeing my buddy.
Sure.
And so we literally, on night one, we went and we picked up some groceries and did whatever. And then we just went back to the house and we're like, we're both, I traveled today. We're tired. Let's just hang out and whatever. Hung out, made dinner.
Yeah.
Whatever. Next day woke up and I think he had it in his head, because when people visit people, sorry, let me rephrase. When normal people visit people, they're like, let's go see the sights. And I don't know, maybe if he had it in his head that was going to be on my dance card, but he was like,
do you know Brandon at all?
No, well, he does. And that's why he felt comfortable being like, would you be cool just to hang out here all day?
You're like,
and
you read my mind.
Oh my gosh. And I had a bunch of work to do. So I just kind of sat there with a laptop and we watched movies and TV and just jacked around and did music stuff stuff and and I returned emails, whatever. There's a restaurant there called Mabel's Barbecue, owned by Chef Michael Simon, my favorite chef. And Mom wanted me to try it.
Yeah, she did.
And I wanted to try it. So instead of going to it, we door dashed it. Ate it. Some of the best barbecue I've ever had. Truly, even door dashed. Ordered it the next day too.
Yeah, you did.
Double day. Didn't even not leave the house really.
Yeah.
Ate DoorDash from the same restaurant twice.
Chain of Due.
That was the extent of my trip to Cleveland. Then,
And it was the trip of your dreams.
it was phenomenal. We could have been anywhere. We could have been on the moon. It didn't matter. It could have been anywhere. The food was great. The hang was great. I was so wonderful to see my friend and his wonderful wife, also my friend. But the next morning, I had to get an Uber at 4, and I realized at 3 that he and I were still up talking, and so I was like, he was going to go to bed, and I was like, well, I can't go to sleep now.
Right.
My Uber's scheduled; it's on the way.
Yeah.
So I cleaned the kitchen after he went to sleep because I didn't have anything else to do.
Right.
All the YouTube had been watched.
Yeah.
And then I got my Uber, got in the car. We drove a couple miles. Uber gets rear-ended. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Both of us have had a rear-ending accident in the last 3 weeks.
Okay, well, make it about you, but that's fine.
I'm just saying,
I'm
what
okay.
are the odds?
I'm okay.
Well, you're sitting in front of me. Obviously, you're okay.
Okay, guys.
Rear-ended. Was it like a hard hit?
No, it wasn't so bad. But here's the thing, guys. When people like to say, Brandon doesn't prepare, Brandon's not ready for the podcast. Well, let me tell you something about segues. Rear-ended. You want to talk now? Do you want to talk about your stuff now?
No.
No, are you sure that you don't want to take this immaculate handoff I just gave you and score this unbelievable touchdown? Brandon got rear-ended in Cleveland.
Guys, my whole week was about colonoscopies. My whole week. I said to Brandon before we started, well, I guess the content this week is Cleveland and colonoscopies because that's all we got.
And that's the title, and it's done, and there's no further discussion.
Listen, okay, I told you last week that it was coming. The whole week last week was about colonoscopies at the Engle house, prepping for them, doing them.
Also, by the way, I didn't make up that rear-ending story just for the segue. It legit happened.
Because you would.
The universe made that joke for us.
No, but you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're probably fine.
I'm fine.
Okay, good.
So, okay, unbeknownst to me, Jeff Engle had scheduled his colonoscopy the same week as mine.
Sure.
Right? Mine was Wednesday, his was Friday. This was the first colonoscopy for the both of us. Doctors are now requesting that most people get a baseline screening at age 45. All right, so I turned 45 this year. This is especially important if you have a family history of colon cancer, which we do. And we
Yes.
mentioned that last week. Mom's mom passed away from colon cancer. So what I have learned through this process is that different doctors require different preps for the procedure. This particular prep, and Jeff and I went to a different doctor, but same office. Shout out Dr. Prabhu and Dr. Roberts.
Dr. Probu.
You guys are great. No, don't do that. So this prep, your face. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm doing nothing.
This prep involved a very detailed schedule of taking over-the-counter products. So some places you get a prescription for a thing and you drink it. Some places there's like a diet that you have to follow. Sure. This one involved purchasing some over-the-counter products, pills and powders and things. And it was very detailed.
Yeah.
Okay. And the day before you have to do a full liquid diet, which I think is responsible for my wheezing and cackling last week. So
yeah, that's what did it.
That's all I did the whole episode, guys, if you didn't listen.
You've never wheezed. You've never you've wheezed or wuzzed.
And I've never cackled.
You've never cackled.
So mine was Wednesday. Mom took me, bless her. And what I will say for those of you who will now certainly schedule your colonoscopy, pro tip.
The worst kind of influencer. Us. Like we don't get people to go do cool anything. Go get a colonoscopy.
Listen, we're saving lives out here.
Yeah, we are. We're doing the big work.
That's what I'm saying. This is important work. So mom took me, bless her. Pro tip, do it early in the morning because then you get to eat sooner.
Sure, that's fair.
Because the
That's
liquid diet
solid.
before is bad.
That's good. Guys, colonoscopy tips. That's
No,
good.
Hacks.
Hacks. Sure. Wheezes.
Wheezes. I will never not wheeze directly into this microphone. So if you can't deal with that, then we're not for you. Okay.
We're probably not for you anyways. But
I will say the prep was the worst part, obviously.
well, sure.
But even that wasn't terrible. I was surprised at how not terrible that was. Once you get to the hospital, once you're past the prep and you get to the hospital and you get the IV, you're golden.
Yeah.
Which I will say,
Yeah.
I despise getting an IV.
It's because you got bird bones and paper skin and
Small veins.
small veins.
It is the worst part. This one was in the top of my hand. I still have a knot and it still hurts.
Well,
It hurts so much. I hate it. I can't look at it. I can't watch it. And once it's in, I don't want it. I don't want it near me.
see, I don't mind it.
Ugh,
I don't mind it.
I hate it. When's the last time you had an IV? Never. Okay.
I've had an IV.
So
I don't mind needles though. They don't bother me.
oh my gosh, I can't with them. So you're assigned an anesthesiologist and then your doctor. The anesthesiologist for this procedure administered propofol, which
Okay.
I'm going to tell you something was lovely.
Yeah, sure.
That was the particular drug that Michael Jackson used to have administered to him in order to sleep,
Sure.
which is quite tragic.
Yeah.
But man, it was a lovely sleep. And I was very sad to wake up from it.
Sure.
Why are you laughing?
Just advocating for propofol.
No, I'm just saying, like, I have been very fortunate to not have to go through many medical procedures since having my babies, like, 12 years ago. And so I don't have a ton of experience with this stuff. That was a delightful little rest.
Sure.
It was delightful. And I was real sad to wake up.
That's why I schedule monthly colonoscopies.
Right,
Just for the nap.
just for the nap.
Come on,
and
doc.
actually,
Come on, doc.
Jeff, I have to say, I will circle back to that in a minute when I talk about Jeff Engle's experience. Okay. But I will say everyone there was wonderful and professional. The experience was as pleasant as it could have been.
Sure.
I got a great report. I don't have to go back for 10 years,
There you
which
go.
is major peace of mind.
But what if you want some propofol?
No.
Quick trip.
Not worth it.
Quick trip to Dr. Nap.
Not worth it. But guys and gals who've been putting this off, if you're of an age or you have a family history, just do it. Just do it because it's not that bad and you will feel so relieved after. I cannot tell you the relief that I feel
Sure.
having done that. Check that off the list.
Sure.
I'll go back when I'm 55. 55.
So that's like 2 years.
That. So Jeff was on Friday and I took Jeff.
Sure.
Listen to this. This is peak Jeff Engle for you, and you'll appreciate this so much. Jeff's liquid diet was Thursday, and then he started his prep Thursday night, okay?
Mm-hmm.
His schedule called for him to start the prep at 4:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So the man starts the prep. Then he drove to Edmond Soccer Club and coached soccer at 5:30.
Okay.
And I said, Jeff Engle,
Oh.
you are rolling the dice.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
My friend.
I'm connecting some dots. A liquid diet and then the prep are different things.
Right. You can't have any solid food the whole day before, and then the night before the procedure, you begin the prep.
Sure. So he pulled a pin on an active grenade.
He absolutely
and went to
did.
a soccer game.
I said, "What are you doing?
What a
What are you doing?"
what a brave man.
I know. And he said he coached soccer without incident, started feeling it a bit at the end, but then he decided, as is tradition, to go through the slowest drive-through in town to get the girls some dinner after.
What drive-through?
I'm not going to say the name of the establishment.
I'd like to know.
It's a delicious, established Edmond restaurant that we used to go to a lot as kids. It's delicious. But man, that drive-through.
Do they use meat? Is it a beef? Is
Yeah.
it beef eat?
Yeah, it's beef eat.
Do they have do they have the best shredded cheese around?
They do.
Okay.
It's a wonderful meal, but it is a slow drive-through.
Well, I got to shred that cheese.
Got to shred that cheese. But
Also, someone might have called ahead and said, someone's on laxatives. Take your time.
Someone's on
Take
that.
your time.
But he couldn't even eat it.
Yeah.
So again, torturing yourself in a variety of ways.
Sure.
I think he was doing it on purpose. He was trying to see if he could defeat the prep.
But yeah,
That's such a Jeff Engle
Or
thing
it was
to
like some
do.
like ascetic. It's like he was trying to like just get closer to God. He was just trying to really suffer through the colonoscopy and feel what it is to be human.
I just can't believe that he did the prep and then left the house and went out to the middle of a field
You got to stay home base.
to coach soccer.
Got to keep home field advantage when you're doing the prep.
You cannot leave your house.
The prep's not a road show, my guy.
No.
You keep the prep close. You keep the prep. If you can't feel the warmth of the skylight, you've wandered too far. That's the way it works. Don't step outside of the light because you might not make it back.
Listen. Okay, but I will say he made it home just fine. The prep was fine. The procedure went fine as well. He got a good result as well. Don't have to go back for 10 years.
He's great at tests.
He's great at tests. But listen, I guess some people react more strongly to propofol.
Sure.
That was Jeff Engle.
Sure.
I did not say anything funny coming out of it, apparently. I did laugh heartily when the nurse told me my blood pressure because it was significantly lower than when I came in. Because as I have shared with you, I have the white coat syndrome. My blood pressure is always going to be significantly higher in the doctor's office than it is in normal life. I can't help it.
That's why I'm going to prescribe you propofol because it fixes white coat syndrome.
It doesn't fix it. It creates a lot more other problems.
Well, but side effects aren't what we're talking about here.
Listen, we are. But I think Mom was disappointed because I didn't say anything funny.
Boring.
Jeff Engle was a hoot. He was holding court and telling stories with the whole staff. My favorite was when they offered him a post-procedure cup of water.
Sure.
Because you can't have any liquid, even water, 4 hours before. So you're parched, you know?
Sure.
So they offer him the water and he asked for a salted rim.
Didn't you ask for a tahine rim?
Then he goes, no, actually I want the fancy salt, the tahine.
The fact that if they would have had it, that would be my favorite thing that's ever happened.
I still love it, even though they didn't have it.
That's a hilarious question to ask.
Could I get salt on this rim? And he was just in the moment. He actually said, listen, he was like, I had some great dreams in there. I'd like to reserve this. I'd like to reserve this place for 6 months.
It's like a
what
spa,
he said.
but it's for 6 months.
A medical spa for 6 months.
That's what I feel like. That's a long time to keep it on retainer.
I know. And I asked for his permission to share all these things, but when he asked
Was
for...
he on propofol when he granted the permission?
No, this was today.
Sure.
But he asked for a salted rim, guys.
I mean,
And that's...
he's leisurely. He was a man of fine tastes and fine repute and leisure.
But what I appreciated was that the nurse in there was totally nonplussed.
You've seen it all.
And I said that to her. I was like, I bet you've seen and heard it all. And she goes, boy, I have.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's a professional for you. And honestly, I couldn't do her job for a variety of reasons. But I think I would laugh.
List them.
No.
List them.
No. I think I would laugh so much at the people coming off of the drugs that I would be asked to leave
Yeah, well.
immediately. But overall, the experience was just fine. Good reports. Grateful, relieved. But the whole week was colonoscopies. I mean that. I absolutely mean that. I will also say this about the colonoscopy. The experience itself wasn't bad, but bouncing back from it is kind of hard because your gut health is completely messed up.
Okay.
Like energy is low, exercising is real hard. I don't know. That's something people didn't tell me would happen. I need some yogurt,
Okay.
you know?
I don't.
I need some of those live cultures.
You need that Jamie Lee Curtis. I need that JLC yogurt.
Anyway, guys, don't neglect your screenings because it was totally fine.
I need a Jamie Lee Curtis yogurt with a tahine rim. Please. Chop, chop. And with a side of Shakira.
Oh, my word. Okay. Asher made the track team last week, which was
Nice.
very exciting.
Totally.
He did try out to do hurdles. Never done them before.
Sure. You go over them.
I said, did you watch any? Did they tell you how to do it? No. Did you watch any videos about the proper hurdle form? And he was like, no, but I didn't hit any of them. Didn't knock any of them down.
Just jump over them.
Well, I know, but there's a form.
Right leg out, left leg back.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
All right.
I've seen Cool Runnings.
No.
They open on hurdles. He's a hurdler.
Well, I guess they do, don't they?
Yeah,
The one
maybe
guy is.
maybe before we
Judge.
those who live in glass houses
With skylights.
with skylights should not cast stones when discussing Cool Runnings. I think that's how the saying goes.
That's exactly how it goes. But I'm excited to watch him do that. I hope he learns how to do hurdles.
He already did. You don't make the team lest you know how to hurdle.
Well, this is the first year that most kids have ever done anything track and field.
He's a natural.
So they're all learning together.
He's a natural hurdler.
Asher got my flexibility.
Oh no.
No, I'm very flexible. No, I am. That's one thing I've got going for me.
No, I'm not. What are you even? You're being very inflexible in this conversation right now. I'm trying to make a joke, and you're so defensive.
I just feel like if I were to do a track and field event, I think I could do hurdles because I think
You're a shot putter through and through.
Totally,
You
right?
would break a shoulder.
I would break a shoulder day one.
Just do the hammer throw.
Yeah.
Just straight through a Lexus, a certified pre-owned Lexus windshield.
I thought you meant a person named Alexis.
Straight through Alexis's face. The referee Alexis.
Is there a ref?
Man, I love that those are track and field events. Javelin.
Yeah. Oh no, they don't do that one in middle school. I don't even know if they do that one in high school.
This is
and
why.
Honestly, that's probably good.
This is why if an apocalypse comes around, the younger generation's not going to be able to hang.
Oh.
Javelin skills are going to be important.
Yeah, they really
because
are.
bullets will run out, but I'll tell you what doesn't run out: javelins. Because you can always go pick it up.
There are plenty.
Yeah. Oops, I tossed my javelin through the windshield of a certified pre-owned Lexus. I can always go get it back. That's why bow and arrow in a zombie apocalypse is a superior weapon to a firearm.
Then you have to get close to. It doesn't kill well unless you get it in their brain.
Straight in the brain. But that's the same thing with a bullet.
But then you have to approach said zombie and pull it out.
Have you seen the hunger pangs? She is from distance.
Wow.
Have you seen Robin Hoods? And I say that because there's more than one of them. Have you seen when Kevin Costner with his beautiful face and his flowing lock sleeves, he pulls out his quiver, from his quiver, makes us all quiver, and then he splits his own arrow in twain. Maid Marian faints, can't handle it.
Do you remember the music video?
Yes. The one for Everything I Do It For You, when he's like shooting the thing through the thing.
Yes. And he's got her on a rope, and they're like
they
swinging
twirl down from the
down.
treehouse with Little John and the merry men, drinking mead and courting maidens, splitting arrows. Here comes Christian Slater. He's mad.
What a heartthrob.
Yeah, but
that was Pete Costner.
He's mad. Well, that was Slater. We're talking Slater.
Well, now we're on Slater, but I'm
Have
just
you-
saying.
have you- how
Which
long's-
honestly, Kevin Costner as Robin Hood, kind of a weird choice.
Well, not at
Now that he's John Dutton,
not
that's
at the
the
time.
only role
At the
he was
time,
meant to play.
he was the guy.
He was
He
the
was
guy.
like peak, like AAA plus list
Yeah.
actor. Now here's the-
Crindy's crush.
Have you, have you, God, hilarious podcast, Crindy's Crush, where she just talks about heartthrobs from the 80s and the 60s.
Tom
and then-
Selleck. Well, a Tom Selleck episode.
Yeah.
A Costner episode.
Welcome back to Mustache Week on Crindy's Crush. Where we The thing is, she'd throw some wild cards. Like she'd come
Daniel
in
Day-Lewis.
Right, mustache. She'd come through,
Sometimes.
but she'd come through with some weird, like occasionally she'll just drop Steven Tyler in there, and it's like,
Yeah.
what?
My boyfriend. And she'll
It's
go,
so
my
bizarre.
boyfriend.
And
I
then-
love it. I support it, Mom.
but-
It's great.
Have you watched Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves lately?
No.
Shame on you.
Okay.
First off, secondly, you need to,
Okay.
because Kevin Costner doesn't even bother with a British accent. He just
Is he the only one?
He talks like John Dutton. He just shows up.
I didn't remember that, but I'm not surprised.
No, but it's like there's a couple times where it's like he tries to say something and it's like, oh, are you doing British?
No.
And then it's back to the bodyguard. It's like he doesn't even bother. And no
Kevin.
one even seems to mind.
No, because they wanted him to headline that movie.
You got Morgan Freeman playing Azim
Right.
with the voice of God. Alan Rickman is the real star of that movie.
He really
Steals
is.
that movie.
The sheriff.
Sheriff of Nottingham steals that movie.
He steals
I'm
every
gonna cut
movie.
your heart out with a spoon. Because it's dull, you twit. It'll hurt more. Such a good movie. Not, but also is. Watch it. Watch it exclusively for Kevin Costner's accent. It's just never has there ever been an artist or an actor who just went, nope.
Not doing it.
Put it in my contract.
But everybody else is.
Yeah, truly, everybody else is. But I'm going to talk like Costner.
I love it.
Anyway.
I love it so much. Jeff has been in town, so we went out to the lake this weekend. It felt very apocalyptic.
I love that we somehow got from Asher Made the Track Team to Kevin Costner's accent and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That's the real magic of this podcast, guys.
Yeah.
And if you go listen to your NPR, let's see Terry Gross do that. Because I bet she can't. She can do a lot of other things that we can't do.
Sponsor us, Terry Gross.
But let's see Terry Gross connect those dots.
But let me tell you the story real quick.
Your move, Gross.
Okay. Okay. So
Consider these things.
So we show up at the lake, and there is the dead fish smell is pretty intense. Come to find out,
There's dead fish.
The record-breaking cold killed thousands of shad,
Okay.
the little guys that are at the bottom of the food chain.
Don't talk to me like I don't know fish. I know shad.
I'm saying it for the listeners.
I don't.
They were coating the banks of Lake Eufaula. Thousands of
Were
them.
they still cold?
They were dead. So yes.
You could have gathered those up.
And done what with them?
Baby, I'm going out to gather shad. Hunker down for the rest of winter.
Shad Fest.
I've
2025.
gathered shad, and we're going to have a shad fest for all the neighbors. It's like a seafood boil, but grosser.
I wouldn't trust those shad. And it was so
God,
sad.
It was so shad. You just start a shad stand on the side of the road.
Throwing
Half price shad. Welcome to Meshach and Abednego's. We're where we've got all the shad. We got racks of it. What? Racks of shad.
Bible humor.
Racks of shad. Shad racks.
I get it. So
Shad racks in Meshach. I'm Abednego.
But it was kind of sad because even though it was a fairly nice day, the water was still freezing. And so the shad were swimming upside down and they didn't look so good. There were tons of them in the water and there were birds everywhere just feasting. It was it felt very apocalyptic.
Pretty great day for the birds.
It was a good day for the birds. But so we did that. It was great. Got home Sunday evening. As we mentioned, I did not watch the Oscars beyond the Wicked tribute and the Wiz and the Wizard of Oz and all that.
I saw the Wiz bit. I must have just missed the Wicked.
Oh, yeah.
Because Queen Latifah did the Wiz, but that was later. Because I'll tell you who helped introduce her. It's Whoopi.
Yeah, Whoopi.
My gal Whoopi.
I know. I thought of you.
Out
She
there.
was throwing heat.
Out there making, who's this gal with me? One side, Ofri.
Yeah, she was with Oprah.
Yeah.
Well, because they were doing the color purple.
Yeah, oh no, I get it. I'm just saying that Whoopi, greater sign, Ofri.
Wow.
Hot takes. Hot takes today.
Takes
Hot takes.
today.
Between the two of them, did you hear how they got introduced? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage two-time Oscar nominee, Ofri Winfrey, an Oscar winner, Whoopi Goldie. That's in your face. Now, they could have gone on to say billionaire revolutionary defined a generation, but they didn't.
Because these were the Oscars.
They gave Whoopi her time to shine.
This was what mattered.
Yeah, we were back in the habit.
Okay. Have you seen any of the other movies nominated for Best Picture besides Wicked? Was Wicked nominated for Best Picture?
It was.
Okay.
Because
But it
they
didn't
expanded
win.
the category several years ago. That's
Okay.
like 10 in there.
Okay. Have you seen any of the other ones?
Long Legs, it wasn't nominated.
Which I talked to Jeff about Long Legs, and he was like, Ashley. Because I said you talked about it on the last episode and how scary it was and how scared Lindsay was to be alone after it and all that.
It's not.
He was like, Ashley, don't ever You would hate
When I sent Lindsay a video of the toilet in the basement, that was her response. She goes, "Long legs?" ? That was her response to it.
I don't know what that means. But
You don't, because you haven't
I
seen
don't
Long
think
Legs.
I wanna know.
So who was in it? No, I haven't.
Does the long legs live in the toilet?
You're gonna have to watch to find
Is it
out.
about a daddy long legs who lives in a toilet?
It is. It's actually a pretty sweet little children's movie. Just get a little ways into it. It's got the guy who is the voice from the Croods in it.
Oh, yeah?
It's really, really whimsical and sweet.
Itsy bitsy spider.
That's already creepy. You doing that and me imagining what went on in the movie.
I hate it. Haven't seen it. Hate it.
No, haven't. I've seen a couple that were nominated for Best Animated Motion Picture.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't, which is a shame.
No, that's why I didn't even watch, because I thought I won't know what's going on.
I want to see the Jesse Eisenberg movie, A Real Pain, I think it's called.
With
Because Kieran Culkin apparently is great in it.
Yeah.
I do not want to see The Brutalist. I don't have that much time on my hands.
Although I love Adrian Brody.
I do too.
Love
He's great.
him. I don't have that much mental energy or bandwidth.
Don't tell anybody who knows that I love Bob Dylan. I don't have that much interest in the Complete Unknown movie.
Right.
I don't have that much
I
interest.
will see that.
I do
and
like
I'm sad that
I do
haven't.
like Chalamet, and I love Bob Dylan, but I just don't know that Bob Dylan's life's interesting enough to make a movie out of. Fight me, Cindy. She's gonna get mad at me for saying
I've heard
that.
it's great though.
Yeah. Anyways, but from what I understand, now this is only because I listen to podcasts where people talk about movies a lot. Oh my gosh, the music just started.
Turn
We're
it
just gonna
off.
keep talking through it.
Turn it off.
It's not gonna work. But anyways, from
Is
what
that
I
gonna
understand,
play on the thing?
no, I can move it.
Okay.
The movie that was supposed to win won, I think.
Honora?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's all I know.
It seems like it would be.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to pause it real quick. Hold on, 2 seconds. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were saying that they didn't. It was kind of a wild card year because you had movies that were getting praise, getting opportunities, this, that, the other. But they thought it was the best film of the year, but they didn't know if it would get the votes, and I guess it worked out the way it was supposed to.
And it did. And I heard Demi Moore got slighted.
Yeah, but
I don't know about her.
The gal from Honora
But it was
won.
a scary one too, wasn't
The
it?
Substance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd see that one,
Okay.
but that's all I know is that I'd see it.
Okay. I went to Costco yesterday, and I just want to give a quick plug for the Costco Kirkland signature joggers.
Yep, already nailed it. Just
Because listen, I was told about these by my friend Emily. We are both fans of the brand Vuori. Jeff Engle is a Vuori man. Loves it.
Yeah.
He gets me Vuori.
Do you know where he first heard about Vuori?
From you, probably.
Well, no. He and I think became aware of it at the same time, but through Mind Pump. They've been
Sponsor us, Mind Pump.
They've been advertising Vuori since well before it was ever like a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Vuori is great. They're very proud of their products.
Oh, yeah.
But they're incredible products, and they last. But Costco Kirkland joggers feel a whole lot like Vuori.
well,
The ones I got yesterday were $12.99.
that's better. That's better than how much Vuori charges.
Now, I will say this. The fit on the
I will
Vuori
say
is better.
this. I had to buy 75, up to 75 pack. But think of the savings though.
I'll have them for the rest of my life. I brought some for you.
Yeah.
But for tall people,
And it came with a baby grand piano full of mayonnaise. Like just like what? But they were $12 or $8 or whatever.
it's worth it. But guys, if you're a fan of the Vuori joggers, I strongly encourage you to check out the Kirkland signature joggers.
Oh, the signature. Okay.
Yeah.
don't
Which
wanna
I
get-
believe is the fancier. I don't think it is.
I want some bargain bin joggers.
Okay. How is your algorithm? Anything going on in there?
I've been so absent from
Same. And I have
Instagram.
done nothing for the pod account.
I know.
I know.
No, I know.
And I'm sorry.
And our
It's 'cause we
viewers,
stopped
our
doing
listeners,
videos.
No, will you shh?
And that's on you.
Excuse me.
You didn't want to edit them anymore.
Okay.
And I get it. But it's a whole thing. So sorry,
anyway,
guys. We haven't been very active on there.
I'm not sorry. I think I referenced him last week. Lindsay and I exchange videos by this Brian Jordan Alvarez guy all the time. Do you know Brian Jordan Alvarez? Did I talk
from
about him
English
last week?
Teacher?
Yeah, him. He cracks me up, and he's all over my feed, like all over it. So maybe that.
Yeah.
I followed something new the other day that I don't remember what it was, but it made me laugh, and then that's the end of that story.
Cool.
Because I don't.
Cool.
I don't rightly know. I've been. I commented on one of Jack the Great's posts. He had a birthday this week.
Oh.
The kid who likes to watch lights turn off.
Oh.
Jack the Great.
Did he get back to you?
He liked it.
Hey.
And I went, no big deal.
NBD Jack. I have a new fun, precious little boy named Carter, Cooking with Carter, and he's 4 and he cooks, and just his little speech pattern and the way he does it is cute, and it's bringing me joy.
I always love to see like a thing of a little kid cooking, like when they're good.
Yes.
Because I'm always just like so blown away by like really, really, really talented like kid cooks, because it's not easy.
No, it's not easy. It takes patience too. What you been watching, reading, or listening to?
That murder docuseries.
Ruby.
That new season of Survivor started.
Hey.
So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that too.
Pretty excited about that. I'm trying to think. That's all that's popping in my mind right now. But yeah, that murder documentary ate up a chunk of my day the other day. It was not.
I watched.
Not feel good.
No, speaking of murder documentaries, was that one on Netflix?
I don't know.
So this one was on Netflix. It was the Gabby Petito one about the couple who started a van blog thing, travel thing. That one was terrible.
You know what I've learned? Don't start a vlog. Because you're going to wind up dead or in prison.
Right. I wonder if that goes for podcasts too.
I hope so.
Okay, so that on Netflix. This weekend at the lake, we watched 2 family favorites, Great Outdoors.
Great.
John Candy.
Treasure.
Gone too soon.
Far too soon. Legend.
Far too soon.
Legend.
And Ferris Bueller. The kids had never watched it. Which begs the question, if they were to remake Ferris Bueller, which they might because they're remaking everything, who would play Ferris Bueller today?
Tom Holland.
Good choice.
He's a little
Great choice.
He's a little old for the part, but so was Matthew Broderick.
Uh-huh.
I feel like he's just whimsical enough.
choice.
Like he's also who I would cast as Marty McFly.
1,000%.
Right. Like he's just whimsical enough. He's also physical enough that if he needed to do some run and jumping business, he's great there.
He's got the voice.
Obviously, people are going to jump to a Chalamet too, but he's not. Chalamet's too like.
I thought of Chalamet.
But he's a little deppish. He's not. He's a little hipstery. He's not like. Which I realize the irony of saying this because Tom Holland's British, but Tom Holland would play like kid from Chicago. That's like high schooler.
like Peter Parker.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I do think Chalamet could do it, just play it a little bit differently.
Chalamet's incredibly talented. He can do whatever. Young man, you can do whatever you set your mind to, and don't let Hollywood or anyone tell you that you can't.
I will not see your latest film, though.
I don't care for the fact that you're dating a Kardashian.
Oh.
But beyond that,
Okay.
you can do anything you want.
Sure. But I'm not going to see your latest
You can be my Ferris Bueller, but don't date a Kardashian.
Okay. We're still deep into Alone. We finished Tasmania. Now we're into Saskatchewan. Guys, if you like a survival show, watch Alone. I will say Saskatchewan's pretty brutal.
If you guys like a survival show,
Pretty brutal.
watch Long Legs Alone.
Okay, what's your warm heart?
I used it last week because I panicked, but I will use it. I will use it this week. I did, just spending a few days with a friend who I haven't seen because they moved, and just, it's just always fun.
Yeah,
It's always fun.
Good for the soul.
And then that warmed my heart, and then the 2 days of the same barbecue burned my heart. So that's what it is.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Risa, Amber, Sarissa, and Carl, my table mates and friends from this class I did at church.
They all had
my pals.
My favorite is that it was like, it's like when you use like kind of different name, and then like Carl. Like it's like was the perfect punctuation name for
totally
that list
was.
of names. I loved it.
I love Carl. Anyway, love you guys.
I don't even know Carl, and I love Carl.
You need to know Carl.
Hey, Carl.
All right, guys. Don't forget to spring forward. Don't forget ratings and reviews, but only if they're good. Okay? Bye.
Okay. Bye, Carl.